Well, good morning, everybody. Paul here from Warden's Farm. It's 11:20 in the morning, and we are sitting at 77 degrees and 74% humidity. In other words, it's a pretty good day here in eastern North Carolina where it's not in the 90s and the humidity is not in the 90s. So it's going to be a good day to run out here and check the bees. And being it's the end of August, we got to start thinking about our winter preparations coming up in September. One of the things you really want to start checking now and getting ready for is winter. And you can do that by going ahead and you want to check your queens and make sure they're laying a good pattern. And if they're not laying a good pattern, you might need to go ahead and think about replacing the queen, because queens are going to be getting scarce to find nowadays. The next thing that you need to think about doing is looking at their food stores. You want to make sure that they've got plenty of food for them to survive the winter. That's not only nectar, but it's also pollen as well. If they don't have enough pollen out there, since here in eastern North Carolina, they're still bringing in pollen, and we're getting ready to do our goldenrod season, so they'll be bringing in goldenrod nectar and the pollen from it. But if you don't have that available, is you want to set out a pollen feeder or feed them pollen patties, but you got to be careful. Here in the south, small hive beetles are problems right now. It's one of the worst years I've ever seen for small hive beetles, and they've been filling up my traps, and I'm replacing them. That's why I got a whole bunch of them right here inside this box. So as I go through, I can add more oil into the trap, set it back in place, and capture some more of those little critters and try to get rid of them. Your colony strength is another thing that you want to check. You want to make sure you got a strong hive. If you got weak hives, you might want to think about combining them. I got a helicopter coming by, so let me hold off just a sec. All right, now that that helicopter is flown overhead, like if you don't know, for those that are new to the channel, I live by Marine Corps Air Station, New River. And we're in the flight path of them. Sometimes they'll fly right overhead, and they get really loud when they come by sometimes, and you wouldn't even be able to hear me, so that's why I shut it off. Looking at my cheat sheet, your colony strength, for those colonies that are small, weak, you want to think about combining them. And when you do that, make sure that you look at the queens and the strength of the queens. If they got really good patterns, that's the one that you want to keep out of the ones that you combine. If you got a queenless hive, find a good hive to put it on, and that is your weaker colony. Make sure you put a piece of newspaper down between the two colonies. That way they don't fight right away. They'll get used to, the new bees will get used to the scent of the new queen, and that way there's no problems. Another thing that you want to check for, oh yeah, your varroa mites. If you haven't been treating, you're behind the power curve now. I've treated with a few different things now. Viroxin strips, I've had them in the hives, I pulled them out. I've gone ahead, as soon as I was done with that, and the fall or the summer honey was pulled, I went ahead and I did OA treatments to the hives that I do not plan to pull any goldenrod honey off of. The ones that I plan on pulling goldenrod honey, I haven't done any OA treatments on them. So we'll see just how much of that is going to be happening here soon. It's not really blooming yet. It's just about ready to start. And once it does, it's only going to last a short period of time. Another thing that you want to think about now is splits. Being queens are going to be getting scarce. If you want to do any fall splits, you need to do it. Order your queens, get the queens in hand, and then do your splits, because the drone population has fallen off drastically from what we used to have back in early spring. There's still some out here, but don't get me wrong, you can still do a walkaway split, but you got to look at the timeline. And with the cooler weather coming in, will the queen have enough time to get mated, get out there? You're really pushing the envelope if you are. We're gonna go get in the hives. We're gonna see how they're doing, starting at the bottom of the hill and working our way up. So here we are at hive number 16. This has been a little bit of a problem. On the 14th, I was last in here, and it had quite a lot of small hive beetles in it. And we added small hive beetle traps, and we want to see how they're doing. And if there's a lot of hive beetles in here, we're going to add some Swisher sheets this time, and we're going to go from there. I added a lot of peppermint candy on the top of this. The last time we opened this up, this lid had quite a lot of small hive beetles on it, and we didn't see any this time. So I am happy about that. There's one right there, one small hive beetle. I don't see any others. They had propolis. There's a second around it. So only 2 small hive beetles compared to what I had before, which was about 30. So we're gonna check the traps. Get off there, little lady. Get back in your hive. Let's see. You can see the oil traps. Got a few. Not as many as I was expecting to see. I was really expecting to see a whole lot more. Let's check this one. See, this one's got quite a bit more. So we'll replace this trap, put some new oil in. These are all moldy and crusty. So we'll replace that trap. So we'll take them out, set it to the side. That way we're going to see what's going on in here. Because I did give them a full gallon of sugar water because I thought that they could use it, but they haven't done anything up top here. There's bees in it, don't get me wrong, but it's not heavy yet. So we'll give the girls a little bit of smoke. Just let all these guard bees know we're coming to check it. I see hive beetles coming out there. Look at that. There are a ton of them in there. So we crush them right in place. And this way, now we can pick it up. Yeah. The bees have filled it up with some other stuff. Let's get this one hive beetle knocked in there. There it goes. So, yeah, there's quite a bit in there. So that's another one that we're going to replace. But we're going to check this side of the hive where the hive beetles were, just to make sure they're not sliming anything out. Because all the bees are over here away from it. And I want to make sure nothing's going on there. Yeah, there's hive beetles in there, a lot of them, a real lot of them. Look at all them hive beetles. Yep, they're trying to fly away, so we're going to trap them and kill them. I don't want to do this over the hive, but you can see the hive beetles here. See them all there? I want to kill as many as I can without hurting the bees. So I will be right back with y'all because I'm crushing these so they don't fly away. There. I don't see any more there. That's a good thing. So now we'll check this frame and see how many of these little buggers we can kill too. Well, this frame's got a lot of new comb on it. I just saw 1, 2. It's got a few too. The bees are pretty much chasing them away. They've rebuilt the comb. There's one right Oh, that's dead already. There they are. There's a couple right over here. Yep. Running for their lives. One's dead. We'll get that one crushed right there in place. So the bees will have to fix that comb where I just crushed them, but we're going to be doing weekly checks now. And I don't see any more hive beetles here, but there is a mass of bees here. Check the bees, see if the queen's up here laying. We're going to see what's going on. Those are honey stores. Okay, probably from the sugar water that I've been feeding. But the main thing I want, look at that. That is a lot of brood right there. So the queen has got a good tight pattern there. There's a hive beetle running around. But you can see that's a beautiful pattern. The queen is definitely laying. There's larvae, capped brood, and that's a beautiful pattern that you want to see. And I want to hope and pray that she's doing the same thing down below. And if she's not, I'm going to have to reverse it, because I want to get her where she is laying below. Look at that. That's a pattern that's hatching out. That bee's dragging something on its rear end. What has it got there? A piece of pollen. Okay. So they're looking good. So I'm going to put new oil traps in to replace what I've taken out. I'll check the oil trap below and we'll move to the next hive. So far we have gone ahead and we have done hive 16, 13, 12, 11 we found out was queenless, so we combined it with hive number 5. Number 10 is doing outstanding. We're now into hive number 6. We're going to check it out. And then we got hive number 1 through 4 and one more up there. So that'll be, let's see, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then 16, 17, 18, 19. So yeah, we got a lot of empty positions now because we had to do some combining with the weaker hives. So we'll let the girls know we're coming in on this hive. Yeah, this is a heck of a year with hive beetles. I had lots of hive beetles in the lower hives down there. And there's a lot of bees in this one to guard them. I don't even have hive beetle traps here yet. There will become some here in just a minute, because there's one hive beetle, there's another, that's 3. So I will put hive beetle traps in this one. I see capped honey on 2 frames. There's other capped honey up here too. I'll take it out and I'll show you what they're doing. Yeah, there's nectar and capped honey. So coming over here to show you, you can see the capped honey and a little bit of nectar there. And you can see some nectar there. Let's see what they're doing there. Oh yeah, that's heavy. That's a lot of capped there. And what do we got here? Here we got hive beetle traps. And yeah, it's got some. Where'd you go? So these will get changed out. We'll put that there. And we'll take this good one here and put it in its place. And we'll check this one over here as well. It's got a few, not as many as the other one did, but we'll change it out as well. And there. This one here looks like it's got a little bit of cap honey going on as well. A little bit. It don't take much for hive beetles to get in here and take a strong hive and make it abscond, because they come in and they take it over. So that's why we come in to play to help them. There's a bunch of drones on that frame to fight off the hive beetles. I've been asked many times, well, what do bees do in the wild when they get a lot of hive beetles? And I believe they abscond. They're like, you know what? This hive's infested. We're gonna leave. And so what do? They leave. And we're gonna check this trap. There's a hive beetle right there that I crushed. Another one right there. Yep, that's got a bunch too. So we'll get another hive beetle trap. Is you take your oil and your hive beetle trap, and all I do is you just pour a little bit of oil in. I like to get about a 1/4 inch in there, all the way across, like that. And then when you add it to your hive, you got to just make sure that it lays flat, because if it doesn't lay flat, the hive beetles will come underneath it and they will lay or hide under it as the bees chase them. Holy cow. You don't need to be storing honey in here. You need to let the queen do her thing. All right, the next one is empty, empty. So as we move up, I got a feeling I'm going to see what the queen is doing, because I got a funny feeling she's laying there and not in here. So then we're going to reverse it and see if this is where our young lady's laying. There is nectar. Nothing but nectar. Good gracious. Ah, man. Let's put that one there for a sec. All nectar. Man, they are bringing in the honey. I'm gonna have to look for the queen, make sure she's in here now. Now I'm a little concerned because I haven't seen an egg or the queen. All right. So there's no eggs, just honey in this box. That's a heavy box. So there's no eggs. So this hive I'm beginning to think is queenless. We're going to find out here in a minute when we get that next box on. And if it is, and hive number 17 has a queen, I may end up having to combine. Maybe with hive number 3. We'll see. Let's look at this one. A better look. A lot of bees in here though. Honey, honey. Let's come right here to the center and take a look. Let's break them apart. Nothing but nectar and honey. Nectar and honey, no eggs. So this hive is queenless. So I gotta get a queen. And I gotta do it quickly, so there's no lane worker come in trying to come over and take over. So this one was inspected on the 14th. It was queen right. So sometime between the 14th and the 26th, the queen's gone. So 8/26, queenless. Needs a queen. That's beekeeping, folks. And it's like, what are you gonna do? All you can do is get a queen to make it queen right before everything else takes off.